is really no way to describe the feeling of being in the forest around dawn and listening to the morning chorus of the birds. There is something so magical about that, and you can't not want to work to help conserve this beautiful place. At the Kay-Lisa Yang Center for Conservation Bioacoustics, our mission is to use sound to help improve conservation efforts of vocal animals and their habitats. Southeast Asia is a really important place for conservation bioacoustics work because it's one of the most biodiverse regions in the world. And it is one of the areas that's undergoing some of the most rapid urban development, and they are losing species at a very high rate. The folks there are also doing such incredible work, and so that's where we see ourselves at the Yang Center as being able to plug in to multiple projects and support the folks that are doing this really important work.
There's something about birds that is enchanting, whether it's their flight, their feathers, their colors, their behavior. Song is an essential part of what makes a songbird. Here in Indonesia, birdsong is a commodity as well as a national and natural treasure. Across this country, there are millions of people who catch, trade, train, and sell songbirds specifically for their voices. And so people come together around bird keeping and around singing competitions to connect with each other as well as with their birds.
Sistem pendurian yang pertama adalah memakai sistem blok. Kita ada blok A, B, C, D, E sampai F. Karena juri kita memakai 6.
When you enter a bird singing competition, it's unlike anything else you've ever seen or heard. Sometimes dozens or even hundreds of birds are suspended in the air in their cages as groups of judges walk beneath them, rating their performances based on a combination of song, plumage, and movement. When they see each other, the males will begin to countersing. It's part of how they defend territories and attract mates in nature. People train their birds year-round for these contests, especially the prestigious national ones. There's a lot of prize money involved. Unfortunately, the songbird trade is accelerating the decline of wild bird populations all around the world. Many of the birds that you see in competitions today are extremely rare in the wild. And if we want to preserve those species in the wild, as well as preserving the cultures and the traditions that give lots of people meaning, we have to find a solution now that balances culture and nature. As bioacousticians, we spend so much time listening to the natural world. It's important to also ask ourselves, what do these sounds mean to other people? And so what we did was go out and document the songbird trade with a group of researchers from Yogyakarta.
Kita ada relasi di Bali karena kebanyakan produksi alam itu.
We have over 10,000 photographs, almost 2,000 sound recordings, and now we're up to, I think, 60 interviews across 25 field sites. They worked with me to create a curriculum based on that media, and then we met with public school biology teachers in the senior high school system here in Jogja and got their input on how to teach about traded songbirds to their students.
Jadi siswa dihadapkan pada satu permasalahan, kemudian siswa dibawa ke lingkungan, keluar untuk melakukan identifikasi, pengamatan, dan kemudian memberikan ide atau gagasan untuk menyelesaikan satu permasalahan.
And we didn't pull any punches. We told them that there are different ways to appreciate songbirds here in Indonesia, and that whichever one they choose, they need to do so responsibly. Because if you give a person a chance to make an informed choice like that, they're going to remember it much better because it's theirs. They can own it. They have agency in solving this Asian songbird crisis. They have a role to play that they create for themselves. That is really, really essential. For me, sound is a unique and special way of paying attention. You can listen to the heartbeat of the earth if you really tune into nature. But sound is a fleeting moment in time. Every moment we listen to is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We're here studying the impacts of the construction of the new capital city, Nusantara. That's going to be the new government center of Indonesia, replacing Jakarta. And this is a heavily forested area that's occupied by indigenous peoples. And we're really interested to understand how the construction of this new city is going to affect forests and people. We're documenting what's here before all of this big change happens. You don't know what you're losing if you haven't figured out what was there before you started. Understanding a place, it's also core to finding the right solution and identifying the problem correctly. And we're trying to do that all through sound work. A lot of the work that we do is working with customary leaders and community members who have really deep history and knowledge of the area.
Dari hutan itu kita bisa mengambil hasil hutan itu bisa berupa rotan atau ikan dan sebagainya, itu bisa kita manfaatkan untuk kelangsungan hidup kita ke depannya. Dengan adanya begini, apa yang bisa kita manfaatkan?
It includes semi-structured interviews with a topic where we might talk about acoustic indicators of forest health, or to think about what is Nusantara going to sound like, what new sounds will come, what old sounds will be lost, and what impact might that have on people and their relationships with a place. And so what most of us do is take these autonomous recording units and you strap them to a tree usually, set them up and leave them, and then go pick them up a few weeks or a few months later. But I didn't want to do it just in the strap a recorder to a tree and take everything home and not build something with the people here. We've really created this partnership, defined our research questions together with our university partners. And the local people are playing a central role in collecting the data and helping to drive the decisions about what kind of work we're doing and eventually what sorts of things will come of that work. When you think about all the things that Nusantara promises to bring, whether that's economic opportunity and nice cafes and the positive things you can list, and then the things like environmental pollution, there's really big things. So asking people to stop and think about sound, sometimes it feels like a ridiculous thing to do. And we've definitely had people come to us like, why do I care about sound? And yet when you invite people to do that, it's just like this whole other experience opens up.
Today is really all about meeting each other and finding out what each of us is bringing to this symposium and to our work. And so
this is a year-long training process for teams of researchers, practitioners, students, people who are interested in learning about bioacoustics and applying it to their system, to their species of interest, in order to really hopefully make a conservation difference. I'm just super impressed by what people who are relatively new to bioacoustics have been able to do in 1 year. Seeing them present their results and future work, it's invigorating.
Bioacoustics, and specifically passive acoustic monitoring, provided an alternative where we not only studied animals that we would get in our camera traps, but we also got animals that are often not covered when we do monitoring.
Kedepannya, menurut saya penting banget untuk membangun komunitas bioakustik di Indonesia. Kemudian bagaimana ini bisa menjadi satu metode yang bisa digunakan untuk aksi konservasi yang lebih nyata ke depannya.
One of the really exciting things that we're hoping to see as an outcome from this symposium is for folks to connect, to come together, and to really develop a vision for what the bioacoustics network could or should look like in the region. Collaboration is the most important part of the work that we do. So we really see our role as helping to empower people on the ground to make sense of the acoustic data that they're collecting so that they can then use that data to either inform management decisions or perhaps sway or make policy changes to help conserve birds and other animals in their habitats.
Merekam, aman? Oke, kita ke situs berikutnya. Ayo.